It's funny that, what's that quote? That if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to graduate. And
then once I graduate, I'm going to get married and have 3 kids.
Yeah, that's to expect everything to go right. And here's the problem. Most things don't go right.
And there's nothing wrong with planning, but there's so many outside factors. But when you prepare, it's like you prepare because you don't know what's going to take place. And I would rather be prepared for whatever might come. And don't get me wrong, I can't prepare for it, but I can be prepared.
Secret to Success podcast, baby.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host.
This dude over here.
I was trying. Oh, my
I'm going to
God.
introduce people in that spirit, though.
Right.
Listen.
Oh, man.
All right, y'all. We're going to cut to the chase. All right. The Beijing Sensation is here.
Come on.
I got Dr. King in the building. Shout out to Omega Psi Phi.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
His
saying?
chest.
yeah.
I was trying to show.
I show respect.
For sure.
You see how he's sweating right now?
Yeah, he got nervous.
That scared me. That did scare me a little bit. Your father is Omega Psi Phi
Yes.
as well. So.
Uncles, yes.
Yeah, we got some family in the building.
Yes.
Douglas, how you feeling?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything new?
I mean, you already know this, but I'm doing some stuff with Trap and Tove, and Trap put a 800 club up, like 800 calories lost at a time. So I jumped in on that challenge with him today. He did it yesterday. So I jumped in with the 800 calorie thing today.
Y'all do the Peloton challenge, right?
How long that take?
It probably took him about an hour, took me an hour and 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're young. You know what I'm saying? They're about 12 years or more younger than me. So I take the extra 12 minutes for the 12 years of age. You know
Wait,
what I'm saying?
is it the bike or the treadmill?
He was on the treadmill. I did the treadmill too.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? It varies. Yeah, but they did. He
You got
happened
the
to do
Peloton
treadmill.
here too?
Yeah, not in this house. I took
know.
it next door.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got to hear you too. Bike, treadmill, back at the home. All said left side.
Left side.
Yeah, so.
So two Escalades, two Peloton.
About 3-4 houses.
I'm just doing what Maul said do.
You know what I'm saying?
Overflow.
Overflow.
I'm just saying,
dog.
it's whack when you working out here, then when you go home, you don't got it. It's it's
Consistency.
That's overflow though, bro.
When you go home, he said when you go home.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change the mood, even in like your marriage, dog.
Yeah.
It's like you, everywhere you go,
Yeah, it's right there.
it's prepared. You set it up.
Yeah, well,
You prepared.
well, I guess so. I was about to combat me over here, but no. Didi don't use the pool over there anyway. So yeah, this is the same thing.
Has Diddy ever been in the pool?
Jacuzzi once or twice, but never the pool.
Never.
Yeah, my daughter
got
either.
that.
They don't do that.
Really? I got that beautiful pool.
Oh, that
Don't
pool
you?
is Olympic.
Oh no,
Camille probably ain't been in y'all pool more than once or twice.
Camille, during COVID, we was having pool
Right.
nights.
Oh yeah.
But probably
Yeah,
since
after
COVID,
COVID,
Camille ain't
yeah,
been back in the pool.
no.
Not one time.
No. She
Candace
just started
be
going in
getting
the sauna.
Candace,
Y'all do it as a
you got-
family.
a black female, bro.
Yeah.
You got to get in between hair
The
appointments.
hair, yeah.
So
yeah.
if she got her hair braided, yes, we good. But if it's
Yeah, normal.
she'll like come stick her feet in the pool while me and the kids. But we get in our pool. Me and the kids get in
Every day.
all the time.
Yeah,
in the summertime,
Yeah.
almost. I mean,
Yeah.
I say 5 days a week we gonna be in the pool
Yeah.
for sure. And my kids don't get tired of it. So and it's better than them being on their iPads and
Right.
doing all of that.
Right.
You know what's so crazy? I was thinking about this the other day. Of course, we had people over to the house and stuff. I'm like, these new kids want to be around their parents. Strange to me. Like, we was just at the house and it was, my brother and sister-in-law, shout out to Cam and Train, and like me and Candace, we was and the kids just all in our face. And we was like, yo, go somewhere. Like, go, y'all got your cousins here. Like, why are y'all? And I remember back in my day,
Bruh.
we didn't want to see,
I don't know
bruh.
what my mom looked like.
Listen,
my mother
I'm
looked
trying
like
to tell
in the
you.
summertime,
I don't know if any of y'all did this, but me and my cousins would like purposely be quiet and try to avoid eye contact or anything just in case your mama saw you like, all right, it's time to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
do
you would hate
something.
to be like,
hey, I'm gonna need whatever. We was like, bro, we want to be nowhere around them.
bruh.
Yeah, too much responsibility.
You don't want to be nowhere. And my kids, bro, well, maybe not Trey so much because Trey, like, look, I got business. But the girl, they just be like, what are we going to do? Are we going to, and it'd be like, dog, y'all, like, we having grown folk
Our parents used
conversation.
to kick us out the house.
Yeah, no,
And don't
we
come
love
back
that.
into the street
The
lights.
streetlights come on.
Yeah,
But the
come on.
state of the world, I think, is so different. Your kid's not as safe anymore. So we raise our kids in some regard closer than our parents
Is that
did.
true, though, or is that, I don't know that that's true.
You're not giving your kids the same freedom
I know,
that
but
you
why,
had.
though? I was thinking about that the other day because who was talking about, you was talking about climbing trees.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, dog, like my kids was climbing a tree the other day, and I was like, get out from there before you kill yourself. I'm like, dang, we used to be.
Yeah.
I'm
Bruh,
talking about
all
my grandma's
over.
crib. We was way up the tree. Crazy.
Kids are softer though, dog. I mean, one time I told my son, he was outside, and I was like, he's thirsty. And I was like, go grab that water hose. He was like, what?
Right.
He was like,
Water hose.
water hose.
Right.
Oh, bro, that was Gatorade back in the
bugs
day.
is probably. But
Bro,
you
that
think
was
about all the
Gatorade.
bacteria that water
Yeah.
going
Oh,
in and out and
bruh.
all that.
Bruh.
Well, bro, that was our thing.
Oh, it had a little
Bruh.
rush flavor.
Bruh.
Oh, fire.
Water hose water,
flavor.
dog, made you tough.
Yeah,
But
for
I'm
sure.
just saying, are we creating that? Like, how many
Oh, yeah,
times
no,
is he
we did.
exposed to that? I think I'm saying
Yeah,
the state
we
of the
did.
world now lends to us being more protective. I would leave my house like every day from school. I just get on my bike, bro, and
Yeah,
ride
go.
the bike.
Go.
I'm gone. I'm not.
Gone.
I'm talking about I could be
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes away from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, I would
same
not
here.
let my kids ride out this neighborhood right now. You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, we used to be gone. I'm talking about gone. And you talking about no Apple Watch, none of
Nothing.
that. Just
Nothing.
I was saying the
Cell
other day because
phone.
I was telling Trey
No
that, and he was
phone.
like, "How your mom finds you?" Like I was like, "Yeah, sometimes we did have stuff to do. Like you have a dentist appointment, you ain't know you gone."
Yeah.
And I was like, she would know this the route you take to get to this person's house. Here go the 3 basketball courts we usually at, and you would like be hooping in the middle of the game and hear, and your mom be like, "Come on, we gotta
And
go."
I'm like, Mom,
You got, bro.
Mom, we at
killing me.
18.
Can we finish the
We
game?
got 21. She like, get in the car.
It ain't like that no
car.
more. It ain't like
That's
that.
what I said, it's different.
So I don't know. Trey's getting to that age now where, we let him have a little bit more freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like with his homies and riding and doing it, whatever. But yeah, I don't think Sweet ever going nowhere. She'd be like, "Can I have a sleepover?" No, we don't do sleepovers.
Isn't it crazy how
We
other
don't- we
people's
don't.
decisions have affected our
100%.
lives?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's, just,
100%.
it's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Jada though, she bought that life. Nah, Jada she be getting in the car.
ain't checking in
going,
nothing.
oh, nuts. She
She
making
grown, though.
moves.
She almost
Mom
30.
got the, we got the look,
They're
but
what, 26, 7?
27 now.
Oh,
But I'm
yeah,
just saying, she moved like, yo, I'm going to Chicago. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, all right, Ma, call Ma. And she'd be gone. And I'm like, did you call Ma?
good.
No, I ain't call. I was like, look, now I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But she like, Dad, I don't want to be like, I don't want to live nervous. I don't want to live scared. I'm like, okay, but just be
Can you
whatever.
live smart?
Yeah, you feel me?
Right.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah, no. So, yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. What I wanted to talk about today. Oh, I saw a quote and I was like, yo, let's bring that to the pod because that's dope. But Maul used the word. We had a mastermind. Shout out to the Extreme Execution a few weeks back, and Maul said, he was talking about being prepared to make a decision. And like a split-second decision, and you was talking about some of the stuff that you had to decide, obviously, for your pops and just family decisions and things like that. And I saw a quote, and I don't think I said it here before, but it said, to plan is to expect things to go perfect. To prepare is to expect chaos. And when I tell you that thing was like, I'm talking about the realest quote I read, I was like, dog, a plan, like you got a plan. That's to expect everything to go right. And here's the problem. Most things don't go right. Like I'm trying to tell, like, yo, I see people who do the woe is me. And it's like, you ever met them people who think life only happened to them?
Yeah.
Like, oh, bro, I was, dog, my water, I had a flood in the basement and the insurance company said, and then my girl and my kid had a cavity. You like, bro, it's just like they make it into something that is not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dog, life literally happens to every single person. Some people have a plan for it, right? You got a plan. Some people are prepared.
Yeah.
A plan is you got insurance. Prepared is I got like backup generators.
Mm-hmm.
I got flood walls.
Right.
I got, you know what I'm saying, vax. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so, again, I was trying to use an example of, you know, kind of tangible, but in life, and I guess I'll let Maul kick it off because, you know, he was the one talking about it, but, you know, I heard you say, you know, you had to make some split-second decisions. And I guess the point was that, yes, it was a split-second decision that took years of preparation to make the right one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I guess talk about the difference between planned and prepared to you.
Yeah, it's funny that, what's that quote? That if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah. And a lot of times in life.
So then I'm going to graduate. And
then once I graduate, I'm going to get married and have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Bruh,
God is up
seriously.
there,
bruh, God is sitting back laughing from heaven like, you, okay. The thing about it, man, is that when you plan, I'm sorry to say this, and there's nothing wrong with planning, but your life just ain't going. Things ain't going. It's so many outside factors that's connected to your plans that you can't really add that into your plan, right? You can't plan for that while you're planning. But when you prepare, it's like you prepare because you don't know what's going to take place. And I would rather be prepared for whatever might come. And don't get me wrong, it's some things you can't technically prepare for just that. Like I can't, if it's a situation with a child and if a child gets sick or something like that, how can you prepare for that? Mm-hmm. But you can be prepared. I can't prepare for it, but I can be prepared, meaning that I got insurance in place. I'm making sure that I got some doctors that's family friends that I might be able to call upon if something take place. So I think people go through life.
Your prayer life, your spiritual
your prayer life,
your faith.
Right. Yeah, just things like that. Maybe even your freedom. Where if something take place, you in a position where you could
actually go
stop. And bro, I remember, dog, my job would tell me with CPD, you can't take off. You need to be at work tonight. And it's like, yo, my kid is not feeling well. Okay, well, we need you here at work. That's not freedom, dog. That's not freedom.
I know. You enjoying the podcast. We were right in the flow of it. But look, I got to tell you about the Next Level Speakers Conference. All right. The Next Level Speakers Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'm telling y'all, it's going down 3 days, over 15 speakers. You know who's going to be there. Myself, E.T., Jemal King, Jeremy Anderson. Y'all, we got Lisa Nichols coming in the building. We got Linda Clemens. We got some beasts in the industry that are going to be there. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Whether you want to become a professional speaker or just be better with your communication or network with like-minded individuals, June 7th, 8th, and 9th, Atlanta, Georgia. Go to nextlevelspeakersconference.com, nextlevelspeakersconference.com. All right, check it out. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Still to come on the Secret to Success podcast.
Faith, family, finance, fitness, freedom, feelings.
Yeah.
And that's the pillar most people operate in. No, I'm just being real.
Yeah, that's the one that we. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying.
That's deep.
No, that's the main one.
That feelings pillar, see, that you talking about, it goes against every single pillar.
No, that's what I'm telling you. But when you operate in it, that feeds every other pillar and your decision making within that pillar.
The beautiful part about the pillars is that if you do it right, you're actually preparing yourself for perfection. Like you're preparing yourself to work things out in the storm.
Even what I was talking about just the other day, like when my dad, my dad went to the hospital. He was already, he had a stroke, of course, a couple years ago, and he was already in and out of a facility, like a long-term care facility, even though he was still staying at home, but we had him in the facility. And on his birthday, my mom had noticed that he wasn't breathing 100% when she went to go visit him. And so she let the nurses know, and they end up rushing him to the hospital. And this was on his birthday, and his oxygen levels was low. And me and my mom was in the hospital with him. And, and the doctors was coming in and out. And, they ended up telling us, of course, the next day that that he possibly, thank God he made it through the night. But they were saying if his breathing continues like that, there's a great chance that he won't make it. They were saying that he needed to have surgery because he had pneumonia. He had some other things going on, an infection. But they were saying that he's not in a position to have surgery because if he has surgery, his oxygen levels is low. There's a great chance that he won't come out of surgery. Wow. My mom had, they said we're going to monitor his breathing and see if he gets to a certain point where he can have surgery. But he said, you all as a family need to talk because there's some decisions that need to be made. My mom got us all together. And we were all, the doctor was, talking with us all. I remember I was in the car with CJ, talking to CJ on the phone. Yep. And certain things, man, you just can't prepare for, right? You can't plan for. Yeah. And, you know that in life that, we here right now and we all going to be gone. It just is, but when it happens, it's a little bit different, right? It hits you a little bit different. And it's like all the working out, the working out didn't prepare me for it. The reading of the books. It's crazy that the one thing though that kept my spirit in a place where I was able to not get emotional, not get in my feelings, but to be able to still be calm and to be able to, talk with my mom or whatever and make a decision was actually the faith life. That faith pillar kicked in, and how it talks about, the word talks about, he'll give you peace that surpasses all
that's good.
Understanding.
Yeah.
That was one of the first times that I actually experienced the scripture. It's one thing to read the scripture and know the scripture, but to experience the scripture and to actually have a certain kind of peace where you're like, wow, okay. And so we had to make a decision, and my siblings, kind of, was kind of quiet in it. One of my other siblings was kind of like, I don't think that, Dad should have the surgery. Even though the doctor was there saying that if he don't have the surgery, he probably won't, make it for a couple of days or whatever. But I remember in that and asking my mom, like, yo, Mom, like, what, I know y'all got to trust. What does the trust say? And then I remember my mother, she was like, she didn't look at that portion of it. She looked at the other portion. She knew about the financial and all of that.
Right.
But as far as going deep with what did he want, and because they did their trust in their 40s, and my dad actually, it was like 3 different check marks. One check mark.
How old was he at this point?
He was about 42 years, anywhere between 42 to 44 years old.
And then now,
now he's 70. Well, that was his birthday.
30-something years.
Like 30-something years later.
Yeah.
And it was 3 different check mark boxes. One was, do not resuscitate, do not do anything. That wasn't checked. Another one was to the limits of medical, try to resuscitate me, but, if it's not working pretty much, let the attending physician make the call to stop it. The third one was, I don't care the cost. I don't care the medical. I don't care what. Yeah, bro.
Let's get active.
I'm talking about. I don't care what the cost is.
Yeah, get active.
I don't care what it takes.
Yeah. What the report is of the doctor.
What the report is of the doctor. Oh, bro.
Get active.
Bro, when I saw that, and my dad checked it, like a big check mark on that past fuck. It wasn't one that could be mistaken.
No. Yeah.
It was like, a stamp. Boom.
Yeah.
I was like, what we talking about?
Yeah.
What we talking about?
Clear.
It's not about, and I think a lot of times when it's time to make a decision, a lot of people make decisions based off of feelings. I don't want him to, I don't want to, what did he say? What did he say? And sure enough, but that goes back to being like, right, you couldn't plan for this, but the preparation, being prepared came from years and years of not only just my faith, of every day sending my family Bible scriptures. It's like every time, and it's crazy that every time something comes about in my life, it's a scripture that's attached to it. But you gotta know the word in order to attach a scripture to what you're going through. There is literally a scripture that's attached.
Absolutely.
How was I able to even say, Mom, what your trust? I was able to say that because I gotta trust.
Yeah.
And I know what's in the trust. So that was the prepared, where I was able to say, okay, it's not about what I want, you want, but what did he want?
Yeah, what did the words say?
Because right now, what the words say?
What did the words say?
And so what the contract say?
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, it literally said that this is what he wanted. And so it was like he made a decision 30 years ago.
Wow.
And so, boom, no matter if the doctor said that he might not be able to come out of this, he said, go for it.
Absolutely.
So as one of the executives of his estate, go for it. This is what he wants. Let's go.
Yeah.
I got your back. I'm going to be right there with you the whole way. But we going for it. And so we went with what he said he wanted.
What he said.
And literally, bruh, we had the whole family there. We was praying over him. I had my boy come over who's a minister. And yeah, it's crazy. I had sent you, you know, it was deep. But
And he made it out of the surgery.
He made it out of the surgery. And I never forget, Dr. Gracias, the physician, the surgeon, he came over to me and he was like, great call. He said, once we got in there, we saw that if he did not have this surgery, 24 hours. He said, great call. And he said not only was it a great call because it gave him more time, it was a great call because we was able to correct what was wrong with him. And now only God knows how long he'll live. Bro, this was over going on 6 months now. Going on 6 months and my dad is up, eating, talking, you know, living life. And it's like, yo, like planning something can have you in a bad position.
Yep.
But when you prepared with something, bro, no matter what come your way, you're able to make the best decision. You're able to take everything that's in front of you, lay it out on the table and say, this is the best decision.
Yep.
And I think that's, you know, just to speak, man, and there's so many other examples, but that's that main one that was life-changing.
Yeah, you know, I'll not deviate from it more because it's the same thing, but just really hit a point you made. You talk about the pillars, and the beautiful part about the pillars is that if you do it right, you're actually preparing yourself, you know, for perfection. Like you're preparing yourself, you know, to work things out in the storm. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the pillars are important. This is why we can't be in our feelings about the pillars. It's like, no, you got to pour and feed the pillars every day. Like you got to pour into the pillars. Because when you're talking about faith, I was like, of course, it was faith. But it wasn't the type of faith that people are hearing. It wasn't like this blind faith. Like that's what people were like, faith is, no. It was more of the substance. You know, he had a will.
Yeah.
He said what he wanted in the trust. Like he gave instructions in the trust. So you just had to be disciplined enough to rely on the pillars. And then in the right time, like you said, the financial pillar, the fact that, like you said, you do contracts, you do that. Like everybody in the room could have done the same thing, but they're not really operating in the pillars like that.
Yeah.
They might be operating in like maybe their career, or in their marriage or something, but not in the pillars.
Not in the pillars.
You feel me? That's different. You feel me? When you operate in the pillars, man, it's okay. I want to say this, people don't get offended or whatever, but when you operate outside of the pillars, it's like you're relying on yourself, and you're gonna always miss the gaps. When you operate on the pillars are gonna cover the gaps.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like the pillars are gonna cover the gaps. So it's like if you're doing a physical pillar and you're doing every day like you're supposed to be doing, the working out will work out the blood clot.
Yeah.
Like the that's gonna happen because you sitting and chilling. But if you're working out, the actual cardio is going to do stuff in your body for you. You don't even gotta do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna eat some greens in the morning, green beans, as you consume that stuff that's nasty, that's disgusting, you're not eating it for taste. Like, I'm just being real, bro. Like, I'll never forget one of my homies asked me, probably in my 30s, nobody ever asked me before. It blew my mind. He was like, yo, E, when you eat, like, you be doing vitamin D, Z, D. I'm like, oh, no, I ain't never ate for vitamins. Like, I ain't never done that before. I grew up, we just hit Coney Island because it was, I just ate Coney Island, bro. I ate it because it tastes good.
Yeah.
I never looked at a hot dog and asked myself what vitamins were in that. But if you live by principle and you put D, Z, A, C, whatever you're supposed to put in you, it's going to do the principle, the pillar going to do the work.
Yeah.
You don't got to do the work.
Right.
And so everybody in the room struggling, you weren't struggling because it was like, I don't even got to make this decision. It's already, my father had the pillar.
Yeah.
Like he took the time to do a trust. You know how many people die, never do a will, never do a trust? Why? Because I don't feel like doing it. Like that's not a part of my, and it's like, bruh, you don't need to be God. We have one already. You don't need to think. Just follow what it says. Follow the blueprint. Yep. And when you said what you said the other day, I just was like, okay, you said a lot of stuff, but I was like, oh, you was the only one in the room that really did the easiest thing that could be done and just said, what do you want?
Right.
And nobody thought to think about what he thought.
What he thought.
Like,
Everybody in their
think?
feelings.
Everybody was caught up in their feelings.
I was going to say, Mal, like what's blowing my mind is the depth of the family pillar right now, not what y'all think.
Yeah.
The depth of the family pillar for you to know that he has a trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just be real right now. Bruh, I don't know what my parents have. They told me they got stuff. I don't know the details of. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the depth of your family pillar is not just forward to your kids and your grandkids like you talk about all the time, but you've connected the gap of like, I know his wishes. Like, please hear what I'm saying, y'all. Like, I don't know how many people really got that kind of relationship with their people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about everybody that's close to you. You should know their wishes.
Absolutely.
That's deep for me. Like, I'm sitting here like, oh, no. Like, the fitness, cool. I don't know that fitness played in, it did, but I can't see the tangible because Maul work out every day. He was able to help his dad. But I can see that because you talk to him. You have that relationship. You understand his life. You know the relationship with him and your mom. You know how to communicate with your mom. Because she's in a place of, I'm sure, pure emotion right now.
Yeah.
Bro, so that to me is so huge from a family pillar perspective that it's just like, bro, you can't ignore any of them like we talk about. Everyone has such a solid place, bro. So no, that's
crazy.
good.
If I didn't have a trust,
Right,
I
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
even
even
know.
know.
To
What was
ask
it?
about
I
it
wouldn't
or
even know to
say.
ask that question because I wouldn't even know that was even an option.
But watch this though, Maul. Here's what we think about when we think about a trust. I don't know how to say it. You know, I know vertical and horizontal. I don't know how to say this one, but it's like we think a will or a trust as the next generation.
Right.
His will and trust saved him.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It saved him.
Wow.
It wasn't about the next generation. It
Yeah.
wasn't about what his trust, because he did his trust, you thinking, for y'all, for his wife, in the event that something happens to him. But his very trust saved him.
Wow.
Right.
Because
That's why it's
he
called a
wasn't in
living
a
trust.
position-
A living trust.
It's called a living trust. It ain't called a dead trust. It's called a living trust.
But we think of it as a dead trust.
Yeah.
That's how we see it.
Yeah.
And we don't know that knowing the state of somebody or understanding them, we can actually be a blessing to our people by understanding our people.
Yeah.
And knowing, like, and I see this all the time, see in terms of relationships, it's like, how did somebody tell you that I said that? Like, why? Like, okay, you know what that tells me? Like, you don't know me. Because there's no way you would have ever thought that I said that. Like, for real. And that it could be, again, you and your feelings. But I'm saying there's no way you would have ever thought I did that. But there are people who don't really know you, who are in relationship with you, and it's going to screw the whole relationship up because it's like you have a concept of who I am.
Yeah.
That's going to destroy the reality of our relationship. If you really knew who I was, nobody would ever be able to tell you that I did some foolishness like that. Like, now if they said I did that, but if somebody said, oh, he was pissed, he cussed me out. It's like, oh, if you in your feelings, like, man, he cussed you out. Wow. But if you really know me, you like, bruh, he ain't cussed you out. Now, if you said he ain't talked to you in a week, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that might be, and I need to call E and ask, but I'm like, E, is that true? And so I'm just saying, to Carl's point, we're operating on a false sense of people and it's destroying them. Because if you didn't really know your dad, you would have made a different decision and nobody could have ever been like, man, Ma, that was a terrible decision you made. Yeah. It would have seemed dope. Man, we don't want our father to suffer. Yeah. We don't want our father to go through no surgery
and
like
you
that.
And you hear that a lot.
You feel me?
You hear that a lot. And bro, it's so crazy that you're talking about this because it's like people don't realize how your decisions, bro, changes the course of life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just, if it turns out to be the other way, they just, like you was just saying, they just be like, oh man, it just wasn't meant to be. Yeah. Or it was just his time.
You know, made it his time.
Bro, you made it his time, bro.
You made it
because
my time.
of your lack of readiness.
Yeah. I'm praying for you when you fly.
Bro, because you're not prepared.
Look out for me now.
Appreciate you.
Bro, because you're not prepared.
Yeah.
It go back to like.
It messed me up.
Bro, it go back and I still to this day eat with Junior, dog. I still to this day be looking at my son, dog, 9 years old now, bro, out here playing baseball, doing everything, speaking everything. Yeah. And I just be sitting back looking, and I be like, man, he almost didn't come about. Yeah. If I wasn't in my pillars then. He almost didn't happen. And people would have been, it just wasn't meant to be.
No question.
Y'all just wasn't supposed, y'all was only supposed to have these two. Life. Y'all, and those people who listen to those type of naysayers, those people that's not prepared, not in your pillars, and you're able to be easily swayed.
Because you don't know who he is.
Because you don't know who he is, it automatically, bro, you don't realize how much you missed out on in life.
His wishes for you.
His wishes. And God's sitting back, he like, man, I had all of this. Yeah. You had Junior. Yeah. You know, man, you were supposed to have your dad for another 10 years.
You just waited 2 more years, you would have had
But because
Junior.
you wasn't in your pillars, because you wasn't in the word, you bypassed your faith pillar all these years. So you forgot my word. You didn't even, you wasn't in your financial pillar. So you never went and got your trust. So the reason why I got you your trust, bro, the reason why I had you get a trust wasn't even for you in this moment, but it was so you could know what's in there for your dad and your mom when they needed it the most. But because you're not in your pillars, you have missed out on now having your dad for the next 10 years, which I gave him you for another.
More years
you missed out on having a son, which I had for you. But
what's it called,
it's deep how
it's
people
called a what?
A living
trust.
Trust.
Do you trust?
Trust.
How much do you trust?
Trust, bro.
Trust.
Yeah, that's
that's exactly what my dad, he is trust. I trust y'all to make sure that my wishes are taken care of.
When I can't take care of them.
When I can't take care of them.
I just heard.
Man, you about to get me hot, dog.
I just heard John 3:16 in a whole different light. That's a trust.
Yeah, it's a trust.
That's a trust. Yeah. That's God's trust. Like, for God so loved the world, like he laid out the whole plan that he gave something so that the future for everybody would look like this. You know what I'm saying? I just heard that in a whole different light. Wow.
Praise God.
So back to the pillars. We got, you know what I'm saying? The problem sound like it's people in their feelings pillar. Yeah. I don't know what.
That ain't a pillar.
That's another F.
That ain't a pillar.
That's another F. That's a toothpick. Yeah. That's another F.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's another F.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So you got, what is it, Mark?
Faith, family, finance, fitness, freedom, feelings.
Yeah.
And that's the pillar most people are operating. No, I'm just being real.
That's the one that we.
No. I'm just saying. No, listen.
Yeah. That sucker huge.
No. That's the main one.
Yeah.
That's deep.
No, that's the main one.
That feelings pillar, see, that you talking about, it goes against every single pillar.
No, that's what I'm telling you. But most people are in that. I'm just letting you know, bro. Like, most people, you wake up, you don't feel right, you're not working out. Yeah. Most people, like, you feel like eating a double burger instead of the
you're an emotional eater.
No, that's what, you see what I'm saying? Like, they got names for it. You and your wife beefing, you ain't having worship that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got into it last night. You supposed to, like, pray. Y'all said y'all was going to pray for 30 days straight. No, I'm just saying. Y'all got into it last night.
On day 3.
So you in your feelings pillar.
That's a big pillar.
Wow. That's a big,
that's what I'm saying.
It's obese.
No, I'm saying that's the number one
pillar.
Wow.
But when you operate in it, that feeds every other pillar in your decision making within that pillar. I know. You enjoying the podcast. We were right in the flow of it. But look, I got to tell you about the Next Level Speakers Conference. All right. The Next Level Speakers Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'm telling y'all, it's going down 3 days, over 15 speakers. You know who's going to be there. Myself, E.T., Jemal King, Jeremy Anderson. Yo, we got Lisa Nichols coming in the building. We got Linda Clemens. We got some beasts in the industry that are going to be there. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Whether you want to become a professional speaker or just be better with your communication or network with like-minded individuals, June 7th, 8th, and 9th, Atlanta, Georgia. Go to Next Level Speakers nextlevelspeakersconference.com. Nextlevelspeakersconference.com. All right, check it out. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Still to come on the Secret to Success podcast.
When you in your feelings, nothing can change because you're not in control. Your feelings are.
Like literally, if you operate in that feelings pillar, it will destroy you because your feelings change. I promise you, it changes like with the wind. The pillars don't change. And I think that's the thing is when you look at most people, it's not that they don't want to be successful. It's not that they don't want a great marriage. They don't want to get out their feelings. So if you think about the 5 pillars that Maul just named, and then you think about how each one is fed by feelings, your fitness pillar. You feel like working out? You feel like eating right? Do you feel like exercise? Do you feel like it? Your family, again, if you feel like it, you do it. And I think that's the main thing that I think we talked about before, Carl. Remember, it was just like, yo, whatever the status quo is, if you go against that and do what's uncomfortable, you're more likely to have success. I was telling you, most people just, I don't feel like trying to do that extra little workout. I don't feel like doing that extra little bit with my wife. I don't feel like doing that extra little bit with my finances or saving or, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. So again, talk to us and maybe you lead this off, but how do we get out of the feelings pillar? I mean, you're the number one motivational speaker in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
No. I'm saying you understand more than most how to operate at a certain level and not let your feelings dictate. Because I'm telling you, man, one day to the next, your feeling your feelings will have you run around like a $2. I'm talking about for real. Like anything. Like, your feelings, like literally, if you operate in that feelings pillar, it will destroy you because your feelings change. I promise you, it changes like with the wind. The pillars don't change. And I think that's the thing is when you look at most people, it's not that they don't want to be successful. It's not that they don't want a great marriage. They don't want to get out their feelings. It's so funny, man. I had a meeting and we had, it was, I'm trying to think how to say this. So they don't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, getting their feelings.
Right, getting their feelings. But I'm saying, like, okay, let's just say the two, we was on a call, we had something to do, and let's say 2 people was irritated with each other. So we spent 45 minutes.
On the irritation.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so nothing got done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what did you prove with that? Yeah. Like, and both of them you could tell was like, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not even mad that it's friction.
Yeah.
But we just wasted a whole meeting and nothing got done. But because you're in your feelings and you don't feel like talking like that, we're not being productive. So how does that work? Like, so I want to talk about like how to get out of that. Because again, that person is, they ain't saying nothing to me. I ain't saying nothing to, but you still on there. Does that make sense? So in your mind, you like, I showed up to the meeting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, really feel like you showed up to the meeting.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. So I'm talking about how do you say, you know what, like get to the point where in maturity where you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I did have a little, but we here now. Let's go. Leave it behind. Let's go.
So I'm going to say, and I don't like to do this. I don't like to be spiritual. Like I don't like to spiritualize stuff. I mean, I don't like to spiritualize stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where people be like, you just, just pray about everything. Like that's your solution. But I'm being honest. When it comes to the flesh, like feelings comes from the flesh. That's not something I think you could on your own stop doing because people be grown doing it. So apparently you can't stop doing it because you're doing it. And this is what I always say. When you're doing something, like this is how you know humans are sick. When you're doing something that you know ain't working for you and you still doing it, you sick at this point. Like you don't have the ability to overcome that on your own. Yeah. This is where you need God. This is where you need a God at right here. You need Yahweh to come in because you know for a fact you're in your feelings and you still on the phone pissed or you ain't talking to your girl or you ain't talking to, like when I used to not talk to my mom, it was sick because I would pick up the payphone and call the crib. You know, payphone, bro, it take a lot to get on the payphone. Like that's a whole. If you got on a payphone, that was intentional and deliberate. Like it's not like these. Like this is on your lap. Somebody call you. You had to go to a payphone. They not.
Trey asked me a question about the payphone the other day. So you had to pay 25 cents. Did it have 35. A time limit?
It did.
The 35 cents.
In the very beginning.
How long was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
I didn't remember.
Like 15 minutes.
Yeah, but let me say this to you. I'm gonna be real with you. It was. What's the word I'm looking for? Circumstantial. Like whoever the operator was, bro. Like it was humans on the other line. So it wasn't like, it was literally humans that would come on and tell you.
They was in to interrupt your call.
Yeah, they interrupt your call.
And say if you wanted more time, you had to deposit.
So a human calling, talking.
And so it's like, how long was she on there listening?
Yeah, right. You feel me? The whole time.
Bruh,
she was on there the whole time.
Hey, bro.
That's the only way
it was like you was on a 3-way call, dog. You be talking to your girl.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden a woman just come on there.
Like, look, stop.
Like, hey, y'all, I know y'all having a good time, but
freaky call.
Get off the line.
No, they wouldn't say that. They would just say, if you want to keep that freaky call going, you go ahead and put another quarter in it.
Bro,
I'm talking about a real human, not no AI.
Wow. Yeah, it wasn't no AI.
No,
it was a
AI,
real
it's a
human.
grown person.
Yeah,
so that's why I said it really depends
ma'am.
when they would interrupt. Some people were probably air traffic control, and they was
That's
right
killing
on.
Your whole vibe.
Yeah. Others was like probably me, flight attendant. So they gave you extra 5 minutes. They wasn't even paying attention. It was like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't know. Trey was like, how long could you talk? If you put the quarter in, how long could you talk? I was like, I don't really know.
But you know when you first got these, you used to have to pay. It was only so much time.
Oh,
you had.
for sure.
Yeah. So
But I don't even
change.
remember. At what point, because I remember phones being like 35 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
they got
25.
they got up
know.
to 50
It might have
cents.
been.
They got up to
Yeah, they
50.
got to
Okay.
50 cents. I used to use them religiously.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you have to be intentional and deliberate to do that. So I'm calling my mom, and then she pick up the phone, and I don't say nothing. And so here's what I do want to say, though. I do want to say to people in their feelings, you got to at least do this. You have to at least be mature enough to recognize that you know that's wrong. I'm saying because you can get in your feelings, and I see people who be in their feelings, and it's like,
you could rationalize anything in your feelings.
right, that's what I'm saying. That's why
No,
I said.
I'm talking about anything.
Yeah, that's why I said
100%.
you gotta be honest about it and say, I know this is wrong.
Hey, bruh, I promise you, we had an event, and somebody was like, yeah, I saw you at the event. They had beef with me, and I ain't know it. And they was like, yeah, you look right through me. I said, what? They was like, yeah, I was like standing there about to talk to you. It hurt me for years because you just looked straight through me.
Bro,
I
I'm just
said,
saying.
How about I didn't see you?
Never even saw it.
Ever.
Bruh, I'm just saying, like,
No, I
but
told
you
you
in your
that's
mind, you could go,
Bro, I just told you.
okay, he disrespected me.
I just told you somebody told me they got pissed at me because I wouldn't give them the money that they asked for.
Come on.
I was like, what?
Come on.
What? Yeah, I asked you to do this. And I was like, well, you messed up on the thing that you was told. Once you mess up, why am I responsible?
How much money was it?
Oh, it was probably like 50 to 70 grand. Yeah. And I was like,
I thought he was talking about like
why would I do that?
$500 or something, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just saying, why would you think it's my responsibility?
Wow.
Why would you be pissed? But I'm saying, I remember the first time, bruh, I read M. Scott Peck's book, The Road Less Traveled. That was the first time in my life that I had ever acknowledged it wasn't my mother's fault or my father's fault. That was the first time in my life. I was in my 20s. I had never done that before. I had always said, you, my teacher is the reason why I wouldn't. I had always, for the first time in my life.
What did it say in the book? What changed you?
Oh, it says, you know it's you when nobody else ain't getting the consequences but you.
That's kind of clear.
That's, I mean, when I summarized it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It was
That's
like,
deep.
nobody, you the only one homeless. So I had
Everybody else got a career.
Everybody's got a career. You're the only one homeless, but there's their fault. So that's what I had to put into it. And that was the first time in my life, Ma, I was like, oh, I'm the problem. And when I tell you, because you're in your feelings, it hurt. Like the shame that's you, the guilt that's you, the whatever. But it was so liberating because it was the first time in my life I was like, oh, I get it. When you in your feelings, nothing can change because you're not in control. Your feelings are. So your feelings will take you as far as they want to take you, and then ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like somebody who used drugs. It's like it just get to a point where you don't control you no more. That drug is controlling your every move, your every decision. And so it's like, oh, I'm free. So then the second part of that is I went to God and was like, bruh, I messed up. I have put myself in a position where my feelings are controlling me to the point that they allow me to live in an abandoned building. Like they allow me to eat out of trash cans. Like, yo, God, I'm done. Like, I'm not in control no more. Literally, I'm not in control of my feelings. Somebody say something to me the wrong way, I'm going to lash out or whatever. I help create within me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me, transform me, Lord, by the renewing of my mind. Number 3, he was like, now you need to start what that book did to you, don't stop reading. Because you think because you read that book and now you in a different space that you're going to always be in that space. It's not going to happen. That book you read is going to expire. And that's where it was like Mars, like, no, reading has to be a pillar.
Yeah.
Like learning has to be a pillar. You got to learn this stuff. Now you got to put yourself around other people because whether you realize it or not, you got in the feelings club. You only hung out with people who are in their feelings and you don't want to talk to people who are not in their feelings.
What time do they meet?
Right.
When is the feelings club meeting? Like when are they? Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
But it's every day.
I was gonna say
24/7.
They
They
never
daily.
stop.
They never
That's
close.
24 hours.
And they know, and we all calling each other. And we all starting with,
That's why I
man,
said,
my
bro,
mama,
like, bro, victims.
Yeah. No, we
Oh,
I was.
Eve, you really want to go out to eat with them. It's on the
bruh.
popping. Well, you go out to eat with them, bro.
When we do a meal, we could be there for hours talking about our trifling parents, our trifling friends, boss, whatever. I was there, bro. I was just talking to people, and it was just, hey, my mama didn't do this, my daddy did this.
Do you think, but is it a coping mechanism?
That's what you call it, but I don't know where. Can I say this? Yeah. To my defense.
And what's the difference between a good reason and, like, when can I actually say that somebody was on trash?
Theoretically, ain't no good reason, ain't no nothing. At the end of the day, the result is the only thing that
That's the only
matters.
thing that matters.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
But if I don't get the result, can I blame somebody?
Of course you can.
Yeah, right.
If you're a victim and you're in your feelings.
Right.
But if you don't want to be in your feelings no more, well, I shouldn't say this. I don't know that I ever not wanted to be in my feelings. I didn't like the results that I was getting. Like, it started getting played out. It's cool at 16. It get played out at 20.
But what about, you said with D, you used to be in your feelings when she would check you. And,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No question.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was last week.
So you haven't.
I was talking about the other feelings. I was talking about the
turn left right here. We're going to Target.
Yeah.
He about to explode.
Yeah. Hey, but I did tell him for real, again, Ma, that is a coping mechanism because here's the reality of Dee. There are certain things she never have to tell me to do. Certain things she never has to remind me of. I don't ever forget. You feel me? But the things that she has to remind me, and I have to be honest and say, there's a reason why she has to. So why are you getting upset? You in your feelings. And the honest answer is you missed the exit because you was on the phone talking to C while you was driving at the same time.
It was C on the phone?
Town.
For sure. 100%.
Guilty.
I heard her in the background say, you missed it again.
Yeah, again. So then I'm like, well, you don't got to tell me. She's like, well, I don't want to tell you. But I also know when we're in Texas and you miss an exit, that could be another 12 to 20 minutes. You feel me? And so I don't want to tell you as much as you don't want to be told, but I can't let us wander for 20 minutes.
So you know what? And yeah, it's funny, man. You see people who are, shout out to Elijah. Just when I tell you, but just open for feedback.
Yeah, that's good.
Like just a cat who wants to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my dog, man. And like he'll make himself like to anybody's feedback, almost to a fault. You'd be like, yo, but he just like, yo, what could I have done better? How can I improve? But it's just like you got people who like, man, you literally, I love it. They want, we talked about it before, but they just want confirmation. Yeah. And it's like, bro, if that's gonna get you better, cool. But most people don't get better through confirmations.
Yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy, E.T. Let me tell you, when I say overjoyed, when I say ecstatic,
This is probably one of the greatest announcements that I will ever make. The You Matter Youth Summer School Program. This summer, for free, your boy E.T. is finally going to release an online version. Just being real, the summer's supposed to be a breakthrough. The summer's supposed to be a time when you studying on your own. For a lot of us, summer school it's a breakdown. It's not a breakthrough. And so this summer, I want to help your babies get a breakthrough, not a breakdown. So here's what I'm going to do this summer. I'm going to say it one more time. Absolutely free, right? We're going to make sure academically your babies are in front of the top world-class educators, right? I'm bringing some of my NFL friends, some of my NBA friends, some of my MLB friends, right? Some of my entrepreneurs that's killing the game, right? To really teach them and walk them through some stuff. We got some of the best counselors that's going to really walk them through the identity crisis, boy. Listen to them. We're going to talk about career readiness. Look, we doing it all. All they need is their phone. That's it. All they need their phone and some accountability. You're supposed to wake up and you're supposed to be at your phone at this time. You're supposed to wake up and do this assignments. And so listen to me. If you out there, if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, if you're a counselor, if you're a principal, it's going down. It's your boy E.T. Listen to me very closely. It's now or never. Now you know. Let's go.
Shout out to all my peeps out there. We are live and direct. Y'all know how we do. We got a lot going on this summer, E. We got the kids camp.
Yeah.
I know you talked about it.
Yeah,
So,
You Matter.
Yeah, You Matter.
You Matter camp. Yeah.
The kids.
What's the age? It's a great.
No age, but we're focusing on middle school and high school. But some of our elementary kids, they've been exposed. So they definitely still need it.
Yeah.
But I think more the bigger piece to this is the pillars. Is really introducing kids to you just shouldn't be able to get up and go do what you want to do when you want to do it. Well, my mom ain't home. You need to be your parent now. If your parents ain't parenting you, you got to take control. You owe you because you matter. And so that's really what the focus is really teaching them all the principles that have made us successful and stop waiting to get these kids this till they get into my mastermind or your, give me one of the make real estate real programs. Like they getting in all at 40, 50, and it's like, no, we want to introduce this stuff to these kids at 12 and 13 and 14. And
I got a perfect guest speaker for you.
Good.
Jasmine.
Praise God.
Oh, so Jasmine started this whole campaign, bro, called Don't Wait to Be Great. The time is now. And she's been, Carl been helping out, just putting everything together. And so we got her speaking at different schools because Jasmine's thing was when she was in like 8th grade, going to 9th grade, Jazzy was kind of like, yo, I don't need to go to college. I just want to do real estate. Like I did it. I could be a millionaire by 18, 19 years old. Why do I need to go to college and do this? Them kids just wasting a lot of money. So she wasn't really taking school serious as a freshman. And as a freshman, her grades was, C's, D, couple D's type deal. It wasn't until she started hanging around Ayanna here at Michigan State, she got exposed, and we talked to her like, hey, college is not about really how much money you make. It's about the connections, the friendships, the exposure you get. And then she was like, okay, I want to go to college now. And then now her grades, just from that decision, her grades went from C's and D's to straight A's. I'm talking about like straight A's.
Crazy. And that's what I need. I've been praying about that, to get the youth in front of the youth.
Yep. And so now she wants to go and let other 7th, 8th graders, 6th graders, whatever, freshmen, like, yo, you know how people always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Jazzy like, no. Your start is connected to how you finish. Because even still now, she getting straight A's, but her GPA is not moving like it would have been if she would have made the decision to start. So she telling other youth, like, look, you don't know what you want to do. You don't know what you want to do in life. You don't know where you want to be in the next 2-3 years. So start off right now. So you giving yourself a fighting chance. So yeah, bro, I got you.
Let's get it. I need it.
Yeah. Also, foreverforwardmarriage.com. For those of y'all blissful married couples, we got some information coming real soon. So foreverforwardmarriage.com. Just go there, you know what I'm saying? Sign up, get ready for the info.
There.
You know what I'm saying? If you in bliss, remember, this ain't the one for everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is not to be all.
This ain't
the victim marriage.
Yeah, the victim and your feelings.
This
for
ain't the feelings pillar.
Yeah, we don't want to catch.
It can turn into some feelings.
We ain't trying
But not those kind.
Right. Yeah. It's a good feeling.
If you're not interlocking,
there it is.
Don't come a knock
on a regular basis.
Foreverforwardmarriage.com, man. Anything else I'm missing, guys? MakeRealEstateReal.com. Come on, man.
Yep.
What we got?
Make Real Estate Real Course.
Course.com.
You know, people still buying properties. Hey, the market, man, y'all got to remember, we got a president in office that's a straight real estate investor. So he's definitely going to make this thing. He's trying to drop these interest rates. And hear what I'm telling you. We're going to play this clip over and over again. Bro, be prepared. I'm just sitting there telling y'all. Soon as the interest rates drop, everybody gonna go buy. But it's a trick. It's the trick of the devil. All right? Because the thing is that, yes, you're getting a lower interest rate, but what happens? Supply and demand, right?
Prices go up.
The prices go up because everybody's overbidding now because they're trying to get a property. So do you want equity or do you want a good interest rate? The time to buy is now.
You want to be in your feelings or you want to be in your facts?
I'm telling you. But see, when you're in your financial
feelings
pillar.
principle.
Right.
The feelings pillar.
I don't even know if we could put that. I don't even know if we could put that.
I'm visually trying to see what it looks like.
We can't make it a principle because it's definitely not one.
No, it is. It's just not one of ours.
It's not a principle, period.
I already see a logo. You know, I already see a logo for it. You know, all the other pillars, we got the pillars, right?
Right.
And it's the faith pillar, it's strong. You got the finance, the family. Bro, this one got a crack in it. You doing the feelings, and you just see it. Bro, it's crack. It's a faulty pillar, bro.
It's sand.
Yeah.
It ain't even, it's like sand.
It's a faulty pillar, bro.
Wow.
No. Okay, we'll get into it on the next one.
Hey, we love y'all. We out of here. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart.
Thank you so much for rocking with us as always, right? We don't take it lightly, guys. And we hope that we've provided transformation and not just information. We want you to become the best version of yourself, right? Make sure you check out the show notes to access all the important links and get your product discounts. Now, one favor we're asking of you, do us this favor. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We want to know your feedback and how we can serve you better. And if there's anyone that you think could benefit from listening to this show, please, I'm begging you, please share it with them. And remember, as E always says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.